Hello folks, West Truther channel here, brighton.com, minds.com, and Wonderman, and possibly West Truther on YouTube. But anyway, back on the subject here. I finished off the last one. I think this is 4 or 5, I think this is part 6. I should make a note. But sorry about that. The frequencies can drive their living targets crazy with unknown voices and commands to selected, and they can send commands to selected assassins and terrorists to carry out acts that they have been programmed to do, and they're not even aware of it. When NASA's Project Bluebeam takes the big step to bring in the Illuminati God of the Earth, this New World Order God that will speak from the sky to all the same people, all the sane people of the earth, that will beam down instructions to zealots and religious fanatics. There will be hysteria and social mayhem on a scale never witnessed before. Folks, you got to understand, when they do that light show in the sky, there's going to be a bunch of gods talking to all of the people in their own tongue, and they're going to tell them that all their religion is null and void and false and fake, and they are the right religion up in the sky. And they're going to use manifested visions so people can see God. And then all of the gods for all of the nations and all of the peoples are going to come together as one. That's an Illuminati Antichrist, if you will, so to speak. And that's how they're going to do it. That's how they're going to pull that off. The Illuminati will enjoy the show because all the law enforcement and military will be pumped up with frequencies, and the estranged populations will be at war, and the Goyim cannot have any guns. Only the law and the military can have guns to fight the civilians. You can't have nothing. Pick up a rock or a little oak stick or something or another, and that's all you're going to be able to have, according to them. Only the United Nations assassins are going to be allowed to have the guns, folks. And that includes law enforcement in America. They are United Nations potential assassins, all of them. In 1978, a book published titled Microwave Auditory Effect and Application. It was written by James C. Linn, L-I-N-N. It's called Microwave Auditory Effect and Application. It describes much of the same as Robert Baker's book. It's not hard to discern that, as did Alan Free, that we are talking about the death ray. And I know some of y'all have heard the term the death machine, the death ray machine. Well, that's what we're talking about right here, right now. It's included in this in NASA's Project Bluebeam. The United Nations and the U.S. governments have tested all of this on animals and captive human subjects, and have used the synchronizing pulsed microwave beams or rays, because that's why they call it the death ray, to control the hearts and of their victims to slow or stop. They can stop your heart. They have handheld devices. They can point the frequencies at you and give you a heart attack, stop your heart right there. And then everybody says, oh, they died of natural causes, and you were actually murdered by technology and a thug, an assassin. These rays can penetrate into your chest cavity and stop your heart anytime or any place, unless you have shielding. This is being used on humanity's targeted individuals everywhere. For most, right now is your happy days. This widespread testing on live subjects has demonstrated that focused ultra-high frequencies, UHFs, can make muscles strong or turn your body into a wet, limp noodle. Your skin can burn away or these rays and frequencies can aid in the effect of drugs or bacteria or poisons and control the entire brain's functions. This ain't no laughing matter, folks. These effects were all revealed at length by the CIA on September the 21st, 1977 in testimony before the Subcommittee on Health and Scientific Research. A Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, Gottlieb, was the MK Ultra program director during this time, and he testified to the broad scope of the CIA's ability to use frequency techniques to activate the human organism by means of remote electronics. This is serious business, folks. That's total control of humans and animals by microwave frequency technology. This is, and has for a long time, been used on life forms from the air and skies to reach any life form anywhere across the earth. This includes politics, religions, health, and all phases of controlling any life form physically and mentally. During the 1988 presidential election campaigns, this equipment was used to control the thought process and speech of Michael Dukakis to assure their pharaonic Illuminati agenda for the American Nazi George Bush. Also, it was frequencies that drove Kitty Dukakis to the brink of suicide. December 1980 edition of the U.S. Army Journal, there was an article called Military Review. In a column by Lieutenant Colonel John B. Alexander, there was an article titled "The New Mental Battlefield, Beam Me Up, Spock." Gave even further insight to the technical capabilities of the controller of such weapons, where he wrote that the transference of energy from one organism to another is no problem, and the ability to heal or cause disease that results in illness or death or hypnosis or healing for no apparent reasoning to the witness, they can do it. These telepathic bodily behavior modifications can be sent from and received at a distance of 1,000 I'm going to say miles. It's about the same thing. To individuals or an individual, to multiple individuals or a single individual in a crowd. Agents can be deployed with no conscious knowledge that that person or animal is programmed, but they can key it in and start the program to work in any time they want. The Manchurian candidate requires no call or no text to execute their programming. Y'all should see that old movie, The Manchurian Candidate. It's really a serious movie. There are many other mind-to-mind supercomputer artificial intelligence that can telepathically communicate thought, mind control to one or any number of people or a herd of elephants. And the implanted recipient will sense nothing but their own personal conscience, awareness, and focus. The third step of the NASA Project Bluebeam is telepathic electronic two-way communication. Within Lieutenant Colonel Alexander's article, he wrote that if it is possible. Now, folks, you got to understand, if means when a person like Lieutenant Colonel Alexander, when he writes if, what that is, if means no direct endorsement. It's an escape or fail-safe to exposing knowledge personally and directly. It is possible to induce and feed artificial thought into the multigenic field, which means that frequencies can control the life forces of the entire Earth that is selected or not shielded from such powerful mental suggestions. Alexander wrote that an individual's only resistance would be to question the motivation behind their thoughts and simply not act upon their thoughts, which they are able to consider outside their conscience, ideology, religious, and moral boundaries. So when you get these thoughts, and I've had a bunch of them, if it's outside of your religious or your moral or your ideological, you know what I'm talking about, outside of your what you think is right, then don't do it. You should carefully consider how TV advertising, modern false education, and various types of social pressures are used to manipulate those boundaries. These mind control programs are the weapons that cause you to believe the world is round and spinning over 1,000 miles an hour, even when you don't feel the inertia or the centrifugal forces that would affect your equilibrium and your balance. Mind control will cause you not to be able to comprehend and not to be able to perceive the NASA Project Bluebeam as true. So you'll just think everything I'm saying is just, a cartoon. But you believe the earth is a spinning ball and nothing is ever thrown from it. It spins 1,000 miles an hour and don't throw nothing off of it, folks. Where is your common sense? You're not allowed to have it. The frequencies have taken it from you. Your ability for abstract and for logical, deductive reasoning, you don't have it anymore. The fourth step is universal supernatural manifestation. This will be achieved by electronic means and by compliance to any United Nations deceptions or demands. The United Nations will use this technology to stage and convince you that aliens from far places are threatening humanity, so let's nuke them. The pharaonic aristocracy's New World Order, United Nations, and United States governments will use this technology to make Christians believe the rapture, BS, and that a divine intervention of an alien off-world civilization that is coming to save humanity from a savage and merciless demon. Their agenda is to dispose of all significant opposition to the New World Order takeover, which their laser sky show will no doubt cause the biggest fall of humanity yet ever before. Government is the biggest fall to date. Governments is the biggest problem that humanity has to this date, and that's a fact. Then the New World Order Illuminati will impose electronic supernatural forces that will travel through, you're going to like this, that will travel through optical fibers, coaxial cables, TV, electric and phone communications to reach everyone at once, even through smart appliances. The embedded computer communication chips all will be in place for this step of the New World Order Swiss Octagon's pharaonic takeover of the world. This step deals with satanic ghost. Doesn't that scare you? The satanic ghost that will be projected worldwide. This will trigger the populations to their edge of hysteria and madness to consume millions in a wave of suicides, murders, and permanent psychological disorders. After this night of the 1,000 stars, the big show, those remaining of the populations will abdicate or surrender their will over to the deceptions of the Swiss Octagon's pharaonic Templar New World Order, and those left will surrender all. Remember that hymn, some of you? I surrender all. Well, you will to the New World Order's technology. And the Masonic order, and they will accept the deceptive security of the New World Order of real-time monsters, real true-to-life monsters.